Hi everyone, today I'm using clear Dollar Tree glass plates to create special celebration plates. I've created templates for both the dinner and luncheon size plates so that you can use papers or napkins to fit on them perfectly. This is a birthday napkin that I purchased at Dollar Tree, and since it is not large enough to fit on the dinner plate, I have to cut around it. I have to cut around the pattern, and then it will fit into the background with this template that I printed out.
I'm working with the large plate right now, and the first thing we want to do is we want to make sure that it's clear of all debris and oils from our hands. So I have some rubbing alcohol on a napkin, and we're going to just wipe it off and make sure it's clean. I put a rubber glove on so that as I touch it, I will not get any oils from my hands on there. And then we're going to begin with the section that I cut out, the happy birthday section, and I want to kind of figure out where it's going to go in the center here first before I put the decoupage medium down. Then I've put some of the decoupage medium just into a small bowl so that I don't have to leave the jar open and have it start drying in the big jar. So I will very carefully spread this out evenly. And I do have the plate upside down, so I'm working on the back of the plate so that this can be used for food. And then we're going to just set this down approximately in the center, and I'll use my fingers to work it out. And generally I let the paper dry, but before I put the back coat on, but because this is a napkin, I do go ahead and I put the coat on right away to make sure that it's adhering. And then I just either use my fingers or the brush itself to work out the creases in it. That's very important when you're touching the paper at this point. It's so fragile. If you press too hard, it could easily tear. So you want to use a very, very, very soft touch to smooth out all the wrinkles. I think that's looking fairly smooth, and I'm going to just take a brayer and go over it and really work the napkin into it. You can see a lot of the glue is coming out from underneath it. This is going to get any air bubbles out too. And then if I get any other creases in it, I'll just smooth them out with my finger. And because it dries clear, you don't have to worry about actually physically wiping out the excess over here. We'll take care of that. It's going to be all covered anyway.
Now I have a variety of colored craft paper here and some flower punches that I am going to use to create a border. Another option would be to cut the elements from the flowers, the elements such as the flowers and the butterflies from the napkins to put around the border. However, I'm going to be demonstrating that in the Christmas place setting, so I wanted to show you a different method to create a border.
Now while this is drying, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come around and I'm going to put some of the little flowers that I cut out and little butterflies, and we're going to just randomly put them around. I'm using the dishwasher safe decoupage glue, and I'm putting just a little bit down. And we'll just create a fun pattern with these. And again, I'm going to come over the tops of it with a little bit more glue just to hold it in place. eventually come over with one of the colors from the napkins to go around the outside perimeter. And I have these cute little butterflies. We'll put some of these down. And then I'm going to just continue this around until it's done. Okay, well, I've finished everything. And what I did is I just randomly put the flowers and the butterflies around the border. And now what I'm going to do is wait for this to completely dry. And if I wanted to, I could air dry this. And then we're going to put another cover over the back of this. So I'll be back as soon as this is dry. This is completely dry, and you can see how the decoupage medium dries clear. It's so nice. So now I've pre-cut out one of the templates that I have on my website, and I'm going to just adhere this on here. So it will make a perfect circle so that when I want to come in, I add the pink. If I go over the edges, it will be fine. And that will make it look so nice and cute. And the white will just kind of fade away, and you won't really be able to tell that I have just trimmed around it. So again, I'm going to go over this with the dishwasher safe decoupage medium. It is really important that you use a waterproof decoupage medium, otherwise if you were to wash the plate it would reconstitute the medium. So then I'm going to just center this in here, and I did have a little bit of pink on the outside because I'm going to paint around the outside trim with pink, and I want to make sure I center this, and then I can adhere this down. I'm going to take my brayer and really get a good adhesion to this. I'm going to let this dry, and then I'm going to put a coat of the decoupage medium right over this. Okay, it's completely dry, and so what I'm going to do is just come in and coat it with a clear coat of the decoupage medium, really sealing it in there. And I want to make sure I get the edges really good, because when I come in with the pink paint on the outside, and I'm going to be using the Folk Art Enamels glass panes, we're going to just make sure that it cannot seep in underneath here. Well, the napkins all dry underneath there, and then also the white paper that I put around it, and all the flowers are adhered. So now I can come in and I can paint the sides with the pretty color. You can choose purple or green or whatever colors are in there. I'm going to just use a really pretty pink, and I'm going to go around the outside edges. I will have all the colors and all the products that I've used listed. So what's really important is that, oh, I got a little glove there. I've put 3 or 4 coats of the dishwasher safe decoupage medium there. And so I'm just going to go around the outside edge. And this is a little bit more opaque than some of the colors that I've used, so this will probably just take 2 coats. But again, what I want to try to do is work as quickly as possible and make sure I don't have any streaks in it. So I periodically go over it
Now the paint is dry, and this is how it turned out. I did put 3 more coats of the dishwasher safe decoupage medium over the entire back of the plate to make sure that it would be water resistant.
And the reason I cut this out of the napkin, because you can see that the square does not fit into the template that I created that fits the bottom of the plate. So I'm able to just simply cut this out and use it. So I'm going to spread the dishwasher safe decoupage glue on the back. And then I'm going to center the heart, approximately center. It's hard to do when you're doing it on the back side. And then I'm going to take my brush and smooth it out. And again, you have to be so careful with this napkin, because if I were to rub really hard, it would just break in half and tear so easily. Okay, this isn't not wanting to work out, so I'm going to just use my brayer now. And if you see what happened is, this was 2-ply paper, and the top half just came off. So I'm going to gently take that off. I was hoping this would not happen because it makes it a little bit more opaque too. But we're okay. And the nice thing is, it was the white paper that was creasing a lot, so. Okay, this is all nice and dry. And from this side, it looks pretty good. There's not a lot of crackles showing through. So what I did is I cut a circle, a red circle template that I created in my computer, and this again is available with all the templates on my website. Now you could also use just some tissue paper, red tissue paper, and cut out the circle. What's important though is that this has been printed out on laser paper, because inkjet will bleed. So I'm going to coat this entire circle and even go around the outside perimeter with the dishwasher safe decoupage medium. And I'm going to flip it over and try to center it before I set it down. I think it needs to come this way a little bit. Okay, that's good. And once again, what I'm going to do is use my fingers to work this out on here. And I'm going to take my brayer and press really hard, make sure we get a really good adhesion. And we'll let it dry before I put the second coat on the back. Okay, it's dry, so I'm going to put a second coat of the dishwasher safe decoupage medium on it. And I must say that what I really want to do is make sure that I seal around the outside edges, so that when I come in with the outside border, that it will not seep through. So some of this is going to pucker up just a little bit, but I think I'm going to just let it dry, and those puckers should diminish as it dries. I'm just taking my brayer and going over it and make sure that the adhesion is really good before it's completely dry. And that seems to be working out all of the additional puckers that I got. And then I'll let it finish drying and it should be fine. I just wanted to show this to you in case this happened to you, so you would know what to do. Because working with the various different types of papers can be kind of hard as you're learning how to decoupage. Now I'm working on a small plate, and in the same manner I'm going to put this little Be Mine center in there. And this is available on my website. I have a variety of the templates and lettering that can go on plates for all seasons. But if you just want to use the napkins, you can do that too. I did print this out on a laser printer. If you do not have a laser printer, you can simply print it out on your inkjet printer and then go to like Staples or some type of copy place and have it printed on a laser printer. So what I'm going to do is just try to center this in the middle of the circle. Now in this case, because I'm using laser paper, I'm going to let this dry before I put the coat on. With napkin, I put the second coat right over the top. This paper would bubble way too much if I don't let this dry first. So every type of paper I use, I might approach it a little bit differently. But let's see how cute this is going to look. Isn't that cute? So now, this is dry, and I'm going to paint around the outside edges with red. As I said, if you want, you could come in with some of the red paper and decoupage that on if you don't want to use paint. So I'm going to take some white glass paint and I'm going to just go over this really quick. What this is going to do is make it more waterproof, and then you won't be able to see any of the paint should it go through. So the Be Mine plate is completely dry now, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to just come in and I'm going to coat the sides with some of the red glass paints. This is probably the easiest way to do it, and I'm going to just try to meet the edge and go around. And I will tell you right now that this is going to take a few coats of paint, because glass paints, as they adhere and they're enamel paints, they will show your brush strokes in the beginning, and so I will probably put at least 3 coats on. If you wanted to, you could go over the back of the Be Mine too, but there's really no need to waste your paint like that because this has already been coated with the dishwasher safe decoupage medium. Okay, we're going to put this to the side, and then I want to show you what we're going to do with the larger plate. So the left plate is all dry, and what I've done is I've come in and I've cut a piece of this tissue. It's a square, and it's a little bit bigger than the plate because I know that I'm going to need excess amount to go around the plate. So you can see the plate is there, and it's going to come all the way, it's at least an inch or two bigger going all the way around. So the first thing I'm going to do is just very quickly put the dishwasher safe decoupage medium going all around the outer perimeter of the plate. Then I'm going to start on one end and I will just start pressing this down and smoothing out the wrinkles. And then try not to let it touch the rest of the medium until I can get to where I'm ready to put it down. It goes much better this way. So I'm not worried about this right here. I know it's going to pucker a little bit. So what I might do is just end up cutting a little hole out. And this way I can pull it, make it nice and straight. And that does make it much easier to adhere. Now again, there might be some crinkles in this. There's not much I can do about it. What I'm trying really hard to do is to keep it as smooth as possible. And I must say that this is equally as difficult to work with as the napkins. So what I'm going to do now that I've got this around, I'm going to just take and put some more decoupage medium down to secure it to the sides of the plate. Okay, well it's dry and I'm going to just cut around the edges. So the plate is all dry now, and I just love the way this is looking with the tissue and the napkin and insert. And so you can see the back of it's a little bit messy, and it is semi-transparent. So now if you like that look, it's kind of neat because it could pick up other colors underneath it. And I like that frosted look, but I'm going to come in with some wicker white glass paints, and I'm going to just go over the entire bag. Now I've already come in and I've added an extra coat of the dishwasher safe medium on here, and then we're going to simply come over and go over it with the white. Okay, so I'm going to just start, and I'm going to just very quickly just brush the white over it, making sure that I don't make a lot of streaks. So now that this is dry, what I'll do is I'm going to go over it with at least 3 or 4 more coats of the dishwasher safe decoupage medium to make sure that it's really water proof. And even though it is dishwasher safe, what I will always do is simply stick it in some water in the sink and then wipe it off really quickly, because we never want it to be able to saturate and go in, because we have put paper on here. And if water gets through, it will ruin the plate.
I love how this Valentine plate set turned out, and I think it was so much fun to use for my family. Now let's go on and discuss how I created the snowman plates.
So the first thing I did is I cut out the little individual candies that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I'll set those to the side, and I'll show you what we're going to do with them. So I'm using a dry brush, and I'm loading this in. Generally, if I were to be painting, I would generally want to put water in a brush, but we don't want to have much water, and we want to use as little decoupage medium as possible. And then we're going to just come in, and I alternated just the placement of them. So in this case, you can see that I have the red on the bottom, and then I have the green on the bottom, and then I have the red on the bottom, and so I'm going to just continue doing that. Now I'll say that most napkins are 2-ply, so be careful, because sometimes as you're pushing it down, you can see I'm starting to lift that second ply up, and so what I'll do is just try to take that off. So that's what I meant by they're 2-ply. And then I use my finger just to put it into position. And I'm going to come in and very gently put a second coat on. And I'll come in and just put another coat. Now you can see here, this one raised up, and I didn't get that extra piece off. I'm going to just very gently try to flatten that. There we go. So this is one of the templates that I printed out, and it's available on my website. I have a whole PDF of a variety of a variety of templates that you can download. So now I put a very light coat in, and I like to stand up, and I really want to make sure that I center this nicely. And we're going to use our brayer to hold it down. For the small plate, I opened up the napkin so that I could use the template and go over the one fold and capture a little bit of that red. And now what I'll do is I'll just cut that out. So I'll just cut that out so that it will go into the center of the plate. I'm putting the dishwasher safe medium down. And I'm going to smooth it out with my fingers. And I'm going to go ahead and put a second coat. And I only do this when I'm using napkins. The main reason I do it is because it's going to pucker no matter what you do. And this way I can smooth out the wrinkles easier if this coat is on the top. Now I have a video that shows you how to make these little gift boxes. They're made from toilet paper rolls, but I just wanted to show you. All I did on this one was take the elements of the napkin and glue it around after I had painted it a similar color red. And then I just used some heavyweight cardstock and glue the snowman's head to it. And in the same manner, I made a little napkin ring too. Aren't they cute? So for the Valentine's theme, what I'm going to do is just come in and cut out this heart. I've already decoupaged it to the cardstock, and I'm going to cut that out. And then I'll end up putting this on either the napkin ring or the little gift box. Then also I've just taken the napkins and from the birthday plate, and I've put them on here, and I'm going to cut these out, and we'll be putting those on the little gift box and the napkin rings for that setting also. I love the way this plate turned out. I think it's just such a happy plate, and that it would be fun to celebrate multiple birthdays for years to come by using a simple napkin, and then also creating the napkin ring and pillow boxes. Now, if you were having a party, all the children could have the napkins, and they could get little gifts in this little pillow box, and also have the napkin rings. And then the birthday girl could have this lovely plate to make it a fun party. What a fun way to create table decor for Valentine's Day, with the salad plate that says "Be Mine," and then this lovely dinner plate that's made from a napkin and tissue paper. And of course then you can't forget to put some little goodies in this little pillow box for someone you love. So this is all finished, and how cute to go from taking some of the Dollar Tree clear plates and the napkins to creating this cute little luncheon size plate for salads, or this large plate. And all I did was to cut the elements of the napkins out to put around the border. And again, created this little pillow box and a napkin ring using the same napkins, just cutting them out and putting them on cardstock.
Thank you so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed these videos, please give me a thumbs up. I would love for you to subscribe so that you know when I have videos coming out each time. Also, I hope that you have learned enough that you can now go and get any type of paper or any type of napkin to create your own plates for all seasons during the year. Until my next video, may painting and creating always bring you joy.